Good morning. This is Anna T. Bellum for the Abolition News Network, reporting from the Chokevine Plantation of South Carolina, April 2nd, 1860. We received a letter from the wife of a plantation owner who wants to tell us her story about her husband's unfaithfulness with one of their household slaves named Lulu. We received a letter from the wife of a plantation owner who wants to tell us her story about her husband's unfaithfulness with one of their household slaves to see if we could recommend something to do about her sad plight. She is here today to speak up about what it's really like in the South for the women of the Plantation Mistress class. Please welcome Mrs. Pansy Cloverleaf.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for being here. Pansy, you are so brave to come talk publicly about the real situation a mistress has to put up with regarding the plantation owners and their slaves. This may be hushed up too long, so when did you first suspect that your husband was having an affair with one of your slaves?
It's been a few years now.
Really? And you said or did nothing about it?
Miss Bellum, sweetheart, let me explain something to you. Plantation mistress is only one step above a slave in the structure, the workings of a plantation. Her husband, the owner of all, is master and lord of all things on the plantation, including her. Women cannot speak up. It would be a criticism of Southern life and plantation culture, and women cannot do that.
Wait a minute. You told me before that before we started that your husband was visiting your slave, Lulu, every few days in the slave quarters, and you can't do anything about it?
Well, divorce doesn't exist for us in the South. It's the mid-1800s, for goodness sake. And legally, a man cannot be charged or convicted of a crime against his slaves because a slave is his property. He can't even be charged with trespass because it's his own property, you see.
So, in conclusion, nothing can be done.
You're ridiculous. Is that a philosophy of a mouse or a toad?
Who are you, darling? I am not a toad to be stepped on.
My name is Barbara Wire. I'm the receptionist here at A&N. So, you're telling us that you have no rights at all? What do you do on the plantation every day?
Let me ask the questions, Miss Wire. So, what do you do on the plantation every day, and what's your title or position?
I have no official title or position, but my duties center around the care of the needs of my husband, making sure his needs are met and that there's food on the table for him to eat. At intervals during my daily routine, I knit socks for the slaves. I'm proud to say I can knit about 150 rows per day, and that amounts to a whole sock in just 6 days, or a pair of socks every 2 weeks. You know, a slave needs a new pair of socks, at least one per year, and that means that I can provide socks for 30 of the slaves on the plantation by myself.
You're pathetic. You're no better than a slave yourself.
Miss Wire, let's not unsettle our guest. Can we try to help her?
I am helping her. See this? This is rat poison. Arsenic. It's a slow poison. All you have to do is put a little spoonful in your husband's tea every night, and he will be dead in over a month. And then you won't have to worry about him or Lulu anymore.
I cannot do that. It wouldn't be proper for a woman to let her focus stray from the welfare of her husband and his slaves. It would be a critical attack on Southern culture and our entire society. Tradition must be maintained.
Well, I have one final suggestion. Just shoot him. And Lulu, yourself.
Miss Wire, Miss Cloverleaf, there will have to be a war for civil rights. What has been going on is disgraceful, indecent, against the commandments of God, and respect for humanity. Men and their slaves. We'll let our views decide how this is going to end. This is Anna T. Bellum for Abolition News Network saying good morning.